Globally, there is an initiative to restore the focus and respond to concerns that microfinance institutions have lost focus on their clients. As the sector grows, the need to focus on client needs in order to build their confidence in the sector has become crucial.
Universal standards of social performance management they are practices that have been developed by the global microfinance sector to act as a guideline for microfinance institutions that have a double bottom line, so that these practices can be guidelines for such institutions to look at and know whether they are actually practicing social performance management. I would compare them to the sound practices of microfinance institutions. Those were general, but these are specific for social performance. You know, microfinance institutions, for us, we are a double bottom line business in that we aim at making profits, making money so that we can remain sustainable. But then we also have a major goal of ensuring that the lives of the clients we serve are getting better. We usually like to refer to ourselves as social businesses. So in terms of measuring the financial performance, we've done well. People are able to tell whether financially they are doing well or not as an institution. But in terms of finding out if the lives of the clients we are serving are getting better, it's still lacking. That's why people can purport that microfinance institutions make people poorer. So now what these universal standards are trying to do is to guide institutions on how to ensure that they remain on track and track progress on whether their clients' lives are being transformed into better lives.
The Association of Microfinance Institutions of Uganda is an umbrella body of microfinance institutions formed voluntarily by the stakeholders in the sector to assist in ensuring an enabling operating environment for the microfinance institutions and promoting professionalism and transparency, among other things.
We are telling our institutions, our member institutions, be transparent. Tell them up front, I charge this, I charge this, I charge this, I charge that. We don't even tell them to reduce the interest rate, but we tell them to be transparent. Tell them up front what you charge, and that is all. So that a client will think and say, I think I will take it, it's good for me, I can manage. But we also tell our members, as institutions dealing with their own clients, that give a client opportunity to complain if I am not satisfied. So we have what we call complaints handling, redress. If a client is complaining, please listen to her, listen to him.
In the execution of its mandate, the Association of Microfinance Institutions of Uganda, AMFIU, seeks to spread, in aid of other MFIs, best practices to improve the microfinance industry. Over the years, the number of microfinance institutions has been growing, and so has been the number of persons seeking to access credit. The impact of the microfinance institutions is too big. Of the MFIs, too is more visible than never before, and the volumes of credit portfolios and clientele are fast growing. AMFIU is concentrating on promoting social performance management and client protection to ensure that the customer is at the center of all products and services delivered by the microfinance institutions. These practices are being documented to offer experiences and, where applicable, clients with success stories as case studies. It is an effort to enforce and promote the universal standards of social performance management and client protection.
AMFIU has been promoting the universal standards of social performance management among its members and also in the entire sector with the support of the MFC Social Performance Fund. And one of the practices that came out most commonly that our members were interested in learning more about was the complaints handling systems and poverty measurement. So we have already developed case studies for our members case studies which our members can use to learn how this can be done. but also we decided to use another communication channel through the documentary to reach out to those who could probably not read the case study. And that's why this documentary is mainly focused on the complaints handling systems and poverty measurement using the PPI.
One such microfinance institution noted to be doing well in this area is Pride Microfinance Limited, with its clients' complaints handling systems CCHS.
In 2013, we agreed as management that customer service, being at the center of our business, we should track customer complaints from branches, from departments, so that we are able to improve on our service delivery to our clients. Additionally, customer service is among our core values as Pride, and we value it too much.
Pride Microfinance has registered impressive number of client cases, a clear indication that customer feedback is critical in informing policy implementation and shifts for client benefit and credit impact.
We receive complaints through different avenues. Sometimes a customer will come and complain in person, verbally. Sometimes they'll take time to record it in our registers or through a third party. So whichever way we receive a complaint, we make sure we get back to the complainant for them to clarify the details, just so we get out what they're trying to bring out. When that is done, we verify the details and investigate, and all our customers must get feedback within 3 working days. Sometimes the feedback is not for closure of the issue per se, but sometimes it's a commitment that we acknowledge receipt of your complaint and we'll get back to you. And then of course we follow up until the issue has been closed.
Provision of a platform and easier channels through which clients can have their complaints addressed is hyped to improve performance and client satisfaction in microfinance institutions. How far, for example, does your service provider relate to you? How often do they seek to hear from you? And how easy have you found it to state a complaint and you are sure it will be professionally handled?
Sometimes we receive complaints where a customer opts to remain anonymous. So in that case, we'll focus on what they're trying to highlight. So we'll try and resolve the issue. But of course, at that level, we don't deal with it at branch level. Sometimes we want to check and see, is it happening elsewhere, so that we address the issue at the network level. Being in a service industry, it's important that clients know they have a right to complain, and yes, they are aware of that right. And we have clients' rights notices displayed at all our branches, showing clients what their rights are and the different channels through which they can express dissatisfaction. These notices also have up to 5 different contacts that customers can use. And then we also use the fact that the customers we meet on a weekly basis, the group customers, we emphasize that, and also at our workshops and customer training workshops, we emphasize that.
What then are the challenges of the system, and what lessons does it offer?
The challenges so far within the system has been with some clients where they don't record their personal details, but they raise an issue. And as an institution, we don't go to a person, we go to an issue, we handle an issue. And we've been able to address those issues. And the feedback, the way we address the issue, has not only benefited that very client who raised it, but has also benefited the entire system in our branches.
But in all this, the end to ensure efficiency in service delivery through proper loan impact assessment is key. Precisely, not all microfinance institutions consider this very highly, yet it is the sole reason clients access credit. It is also true that quite a number of clients who access credit divert its use from that declared in their applications for credit facilities. Vision Fund Limited devised one of such tools to track client progress called the Progress Out of Poverty Index, PPI.
As Vision Fund Uganda, in the view of reaching out to the intended group of customers wanted to serve, wanted to realign our mission to what we are doing as Vision Fund Uganda, and we discovered that a number of things we needed to do during that time. And this was 2012, where AMFU supported us with a consultant to do a social audit on how we are moving on as far as capturing social indicators is concerned. We discovered that one of the important things we were not capturing very well was a definition of who our target group of customer was. And according to our mission, as Vision Fund Uganda, we are saying we are targeting those we are calling low-income entrepreneurs. And from the results of the social audit, we discovered that we needed to implement the use of the PPI scorecard to be able to capture these social indicators from the categories of people we are serving, such that we can have a clear definition of who a low-income entrepreneur is. So we conducted a social audit in 2012. The results were analyzed and the report was delivered by AMFEW. And from there, we agreed that we needed to start on a new era of social performance management, of which PPI is inclusive.
Few clients would want the lender to follow them up to the use of loans once acquired. Microfinance institutions therefore have to carefully design such a tool, and at Vision Fund, they say financing your vision. This inspires them to follow up to customer progress so they achieve their vision, the driving motive in credit acquisition.
Currently, we are using the PPI tool to just have a clear definition of who a low-income entrepreneur is. And basically, how we are implementing it in the field, we are using what we are calling a PPI scorecard. We've incorporated it in the application forms for all customers, and we are only carrying out the PPI to only new customers at the moment joining the institution, to have a clear definition of who they are. Now, during the appraisal in the field, our loan officers administer the 10 PPI questions to all new customers, and this exercise takes less than 5 minutes. Most staff, most field people, field loan officers have actually used between 2 and 3 minutes to ask all the 10 questions. And when we collect that data, it is brought at the branch, where we have a data entrant at the branch who uses the PPI Excel sheet to consolidate whatever has been collected from the field, and then it is forwarded to head office. Currently, we have 15 collection centers where we are collecting all PPI data information, and at branch levels, they actually post it to the Excel sheet, and then they send it to the office, to the head office, to me as the PPI focal person here at Vision Fund Uganda, where I actually consolidate the information or the data from all the 15 collection centers, and then we put it together, and then finally we report to our PPI VFI manager who sits in South Africa. That is how actually we are implementing it.
A look at the change in tracking of client progress from the credit accessed, the progress out of poverty index, and how the success stories can be replicated for other microfinance institutions is a goal that AMFIU seeks to achieve each day.
Disseminating this information to a wider audience is very critical for us. Because we want to ensure that this kind of information is not only consumed or received by only the members. So that's why we shall use different dissemination channels to ensure that these issues of the universal standards and so on get to as many microfinance institutions as possible through using different channels, even if the law is not yet in place. So that's why we are making an effort that even if the law is not yet in place, to ensure that these people do it as a statutory obligation. In the meantime, in the absence of the law, we as the national umbrella of the microfinance institutions, we want to ensure that we try to disseminate this information to as wider as we can to the sector.
The microfinance industry is one of the fastest growing drivers of the economy, and one that caters for low-income earners and the SMEs. Regulation is one major facilitator of this industry, and it's much sought by all stakeholders. What is true, however, that the industry has gone so fast and big to be ignored, yet the demand to grow the saving and credit culture in Uganda remains so big, a duty that all must address.